This is Parsha Short Talks number 89, titled Forgiveness, written by Rabbi Michael H. Koplitz for Parsha Vayigash. The idea of forgiveness is really built into the Joseph story, when he needs his brothers as viceroy of Egypt. However, sometimes we miss that point, or at least I should say we don't always emphasize that point. The discussion between Joseph and his brothers became quite heated. There were even threats of a war between the family of Jacob and Egypt. Obviously, Jacob's family grieved for the loss that war would cause, so yeah, it's a good thing it didn't happen. Perhaps the exchange allowed Joseph to completely rid himself of the grudge he might have left in his soul. Let's take a look at it that way for a moment. Joseph got into a heated discussion with his brothers, which almost led to a war. He had to have some pent-up energy that needed to come out to forgive his brothers for selling him into slavery. That heated discussion is what he needed to forgive his brothers, who did, honestly, an unforgivable act. This is something we can learn because forgiving people who wrong us is really difficult at times. There might be a person in your life that you feel is not worthy of your forgiveness. When you look at the story of Joseph and his brothers, is your situation worse than being sold into slavery in Egypt? Probably not. Most of us have people in our past who have wronged us and really need our forgiveness, but we're just not ready to let go of the anger. The spiritual direction instructor I had told me the story of a woman who was furious at God because things didn't go very well in her life to that point. He asked her to go into a corner and yell at God and use all the bad language she wanted to use. So she did. After she was done yelling at God in the corner of her room, she came back to her spiritual director and said, "I can now trust God again." She allowed herself physically to get rid of the anger that she had been holding on to for 4 years. If you're holding on to any grudges, maybe it's time to physically let go of that anger and discover that you can forgive that person. The sages and rabbis tell us don't go back and let that person hurt you again, but you really need to forgive them for what they did to you. This is one of the hardest things humans have to do.